As you saw the title, you're probably wondering, how the hell did he do that? Hey guys, I'm Tom from Tom's Odyssey, and for the past 1.5 years, I've been making my living as a freelance content creator. As many of you, I started out with $500 projects, but over time, I got to turn those into 6K projects, technically also a few 10K with repeat customers. What I want to do is show you how I did that for myself, so you guys can do that as well.
But I wanna get you to try being creative.
Welcome to Creator Quest. Now, in this episode, I want to talk a little bit about the behind the scenes and the business side of being a creator. As Chase Jarvis said, there's no need to be a starving artist anymore. I am a scientist and I believe in open access to knowledge. So I'm just gonna share those things with you. Make sure you strap in for the ride. Also, take a notebook out and take a pen because we're gonna talk a lot of tips. Oh yeah. Why don't we start with the start? Make good shit. It's as simple as that. If you make quality work, you will land a lot more clients more easily. Don't be that guy, don't be that dick who is really good at selling himself, but he delivers mediocre content. All I'm about to tell you right after this is in relation to your skill level. Make good shit, get paid. Number 2, set a ground floor. So if you're doing this as a side hustle, you might skip this step, although I think you can benefit from it eventually. But if you're going full-time or you're already full-time, the idea is to calculate how much your minimum income needs to be. Now for that, you need to calculate what are your expenses, your living expenses. How much is the gear that you're going to use going to cost? All of those shebangs should be included. Now there are a lot of worksheets out there. This is not that video, although I just wanted to share this with you. Do take in mind how much you minimum need to make each month. Also know that you can provide for yourself for the few months to come if something like this, yes, we're still in Corona times, if something like this should happen. Number 3, know the market. This step is all about getting into the creator community. What you can do is go to professional groups online, maybe on Facebook, because that's really easy accessible. They can be regional, they can be per country. But what you can do is just ask the people how much they charge for their work. You're always going to have people who don't want to do that. You're always going to have people who do want to share that. Do that. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just be humble, interact with the community, both offline and online. You'll learn a lot. You'll have so much fun together, and as well share what you learn along the way. Now, how I see it is you have a few tiers per project and the clients that come with those projects. So you can start at the bottom with $500 for a video, or maybe even less. Those are the projects that you do to get into the game. And on the other side of the spectrum, well, you have the 25K or maybe the 50K projects. Those are probably not alone for you, but together with a team. Know where you are at the moment and also know where you want to go. Not everyone wants to be at the 50K level with all of the pressure that comes with those projects. Maybe you just want to make enough to have a comfortable life. Set your ambitions and then afterwards reverse engineer how you can get there. You wouldn't say, but there's still a scientist in me. So in the beginning, I asked my friends, creators in my neighborhood. So they told me a 500 euro day rate is somewhat good to start off with here in Belgium. To look at that, that's 350 euros to hire you for a day, and that's 150 euros for your gear. Now you can shift with that depending on how much gear you have, depending on the project or your skill level. If your skills need some tinkering, maybe consider doing stuff for free at first and build up a portfolio. Maybe just do a passion project, something that's just for you. Number 4, I don't like day rates. Yeah, I know, I just told you about day rates in the previous step, but still, I think there's something wrong with day rates. And it is that if you do your job well, you're gonna earn less. That doesn't make sense, right? To put it in perspective, if you do a video and you edit that in half the time you should have, you're gonna earn less for doing a better job. That's just stupid in my head. So what I do now is work with projects. That allows me to account for time that I wouldn't always be able to charge to my clients, but still had to put in to make the project come off the ground and, well, make it happen. Think about pre-production, researching your video, ideation of the video, the screenwriting, the location scouting. It's such an essential step, but you do need to factor in that into your quotes as well. Communication between you and a client, revisions, these are a bitch, you guys. I'm sure you can come up with a lot of things that you're not charging your client for, but it's actually part of your business. So let's look how that works for a video. Now in the beginning, I would charge, I think, $500 for a video. Probably would take me 3 days to make it. Now, if I would turn that into a project, I could actually ask 500, which is 1 day for pre-production. I would ask 1 day for the filming. I would ask 1 day for the post-production. That is twice the amount that I would have made before. That's the power of projects instead of a day rate, but also communication between you and a client. Guys, we're over halfway, almost there. Number 5, if they say yes, you gotta up your prices. This one sounds funny, but it's actually true. So I hear you if you're saying, I don't know what I'm worth. That's a problem that a lot of people do, and they don't know how to get to the bigger projects. Well, this is where trial and error comes in, and I just love it. So here's my take. I would come up with an estimate, including all the costs for the video, and then keep tinkering on that amount until I had something that I was comfortable sharing with the client, but as well still gave me that little heart attack just before you hit send. There are only a few things that can happen, actually 3. You're too expensive and you didn't get the job. This means that you have to lower your prices. You're too expensive for the tier that you chose and for the clients that are in that, or your skills are just not good enough yet. Something else that could happen is that you're too expensive, but they still come up with a counter offer. What you can do is negotiate something that works for you, or maybe just skip this client because maybe you do need to earn more. What this means is that you're at the upper limit of the tier that you're working in. And then there's a third thing that could happen. They say yes immediately. And that means you have to up your prices because you're at the lower end of the tier you're playing in. These days, I really run on caffeine. I don't know what to tell you. Damn, that's still hot.
Oh, that's hot.
That's hot. Number 6, climb the ladder towards your niche. This was from a course from Levi Allen. I can vouch for this course, probably one of the best I ever took. I also talked about that in a podcast. Go check it out, Creator Secrets. Just Google that or use your favorite platform for podcasting. With every project that you do, you should try to step up your game and climb the ladder of this full tier system that I just talked about. What that means is if you're doing a $500 video, try to make it look as a $1,000 video. If you're doing a $2,000 video, make sure it looks like a $4,000 video. What it implies is 2 things. Try to over-deliver in your current project so you can use it as leverage for future clients. And number 2, don't just up your prices for every client that you're doing because you need to have the skills to make this work. This will take some time and that's okay, but keeping this in mind will make sure that you know when you're ready for the bigger projects, for the bigger work. Also, to top things off, this will go so much easier if you have a niche that you're working in. Because what that means is that people will know that they have to ask you to do this job. For Levi Allen, that's adventure filmmaking, especially in his area. For me, nowadays, now I've found my niche, it's science videos. It doesn't always go that easy. For me, I did some IT videos that really wasn't my thing. I started thinking about just making social media videos. So I kept searching, and going back to science is somewhat that I know, something that I know how to capture, but as well something that has my interest. That's ideally your niche. Watch the course if you want to get deeper into this. Okay, almost at the end. Number 7, upsell and solve problems. Maybe solve problems and then upsell is the proper order for this. Don't just smear your clients with stuff they don't need. First, try to find out why are they making this piece of content in the first place. Do they have a problem they need to get solved? If you know what that is, you can first give them the generic offer, like this is what you asked for, this is how much that's gonna cost. Or number 2, what you also can do is make something really tailored to that problem they are having. Maybe instead of just doing one video, you can split it up into multiple videos, but targeted at the different audiences that they're trying to reach. Maybe you can do re-edits for other types of social media. Maybe you can do a takeover or coaching for the brand online. Play to your skills, play to what you can do for them and how you can solve the problem that they have. It's also how I got a project for 5K, which I got to turn into a project for over 10K because they're a repeat customer, they like what we're doing, but we're actually building something a lot bigger now. With that, you end up earning more and your client also gets more profit in the long run. It's not a sprint, guys. Guys, it's not a sprint. Number 8. Like I said, it took me over 3 years to get to the point that I am right now, both with the knowledge, both with the experience. Yet there are so many gurus online that are trying to sell you a quick gain or, a shortcut to get there. I listened to that as well, and yet here we are 3 years later. Let me tell you, it's all about the process. It takes time to get experience in selling yourself. It takes time to get experience in and confidence in your skills as well. It takes time to build a workflow around how you do your projects. It takes time to build a client base that trusts you and keeps returning for over and over. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if you had somewhat of value coming out of this video for you, leave a thumbs up, leave a like for the video, and maybe subscribe if you're new here. For all the fam, I hope you also get something out of this. It's not something that I normally do here on the channel. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one, but it's still all about the creativity.